So the first point that we're going to look at as we clear the deck, so to speak, is to understand that in order for new or change to come about, you have to subjugate the ego. Now, obviously, hitting a truck at the stop sign's one way, but the other way is to begin to look within yourself. And looking within is constantly reviewing your feelings, your thoughts, your attitudes, reviewing the results of your actions, and understanding what parts of your life are ego-based, are self-serving, and what parts of it are not. What parts are spiritual and magnanimous, and what parts of it are restrictive and manipulative. What is energy? You see, your life as energy is basically you experiencing yourself. Thought forms are created from within the mind, and depending on their strength, it creates around you a mantle or overcoat. And you walk through life with this layer of thought form around you. And then as a physical being, you interact into the dimension of the physical, and you pull to you thought forms and feelings that are congruent to your own, the same as your own. Affirmations of feeling is basically feeling strong, taking a moment each day to feel free. Hey, I'm free, and I'm doing whatever I'm doing from choice, not because of fear, not because of security, not because of manipulation, not because of obligation. I'm doing it because I want to do it. Taking 10 seconds to feel free. Taking 10 seconds to feel independent. Hey, I might be a bit of a weirdo, I might be a bit of a wacko, but I feel independent. Okay? Taking 10 seconds to create within you a feeling of self-confidence. May the beauty of this day unfold strongly. May the creativity within me manifest to its highest possibility. We look at saying, I am what I am, meaning that I have integrity. I have this infinity within me, but I also understand that there's an awful lot of energy out ahead of me that I'm not a part of yet. But developing, centering upon this power inside of me, and having the courage and the bravery to go beyond the limitation, beyond the mindset that I have, that I can achieve a new height within me. Each and every day, I am becoming more and more sensitive to my surroundings. I am always in the right place at the right time. Next, we would go on to being spiritual, understanding that the physical plane with all its trials and tribulations is basically this glorious journey that you're passing through. And you develop within you a path of power that deals with you understanding the world and its spirituality. That you see pain not as pain, but as learning. That you see difficulty not as difficulty, as challenges. And developing a spirituality and understanding that you are going to celebrate your triumphs. May the freshness of this day vitalize and heal my body. May there be balance and power at all times. As you begin to look at what it is you want, I ask you first to consider those parts of your life that you no longer want. In other words, the more that you clear away, the more you open for other things to come into your life. And so, in looking at what you want, take a moment to consider those aspects that you don't want, the clutter, the things that you have around you, the associations, the belief patterns, the attitudes, maybe the geographic area that you live in is something that you no longer want. Let us look at that, and let us look at those parts that you feel do not empower you. Then, having made up your mind to get rid of those things, and having taken the physical action of actually doing it, rather than procrastinating and saying, well, I'll heal myself next year, I'll fix it next year, I'll clear out the attic next year, so to speak, then you create an open space in which new energy can flow. Because as you are surrounded by this layer of thought, It is impossible to move into another space of consciousness or another dimension without traveling through the one that you are, the one that you're in now. You cannot take a quantum leap in consciousness and suddenly be someplace else. You can take a quantum leap and say, hey, I'm going to take a new attitude from today, but that attitude is going to take a while to layer around you, to become a force around you. And as you are putting in new thought forms, the old ones are still there, and they do not move unless you give them one hell of a metaphysical kick in the rump. It's a fact. Thought forms etch within the psyche, within the consciousness, tracks. They're like furrows or canals that you go down. Let us look back through our life, see the strengths, see the successes, honor the disasters for what they taught you, and understand that whatever you have experienced to this day in this life of yours so far has been beautiful. And you created it. You pulled it to you. And you created it. And you are totally responsible. As you can say, I am responsible for this life of mine, that already becomes an affirmation of consciousness, an affirmation of power within that very, very thought form.